you need something? Let's build it! Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Waterlust Sailing Canoe building series. I need a haircut and my boat needs some work. I sanded everything down, nice and dusty. Now quickly going to clean everything away, and then I should be ready to cut the fiberglass and to lay out the masking tape to remove the fiberglass afterwards, or to trim it. So let's get done. So it's late. I worked far longer than I actually wanted to, but I have all of the fiberglass inside the boat. Hopefully not too many air bubbles. I tried to remove all of them, but I'm sure I missed some. Hope it's not too much. Yeah, would like to go to bed now, but I have to wait until all of this dried like a little bit. Yeah. See you in an hour or so when the epoxy has half cured. The epoxy is cured enough, so it's not like fully cured, but like a little bit tacky. So I'm going to take a cutter knife. Where do I have it? Here. Oops. And just cut along the edges of the orange tape that I put into the boat, and then I'm going to remove the tape and the overlapping fiberglass from the boat, so the seam or the ending of the fiberglass is like nice and flush and not too much work to sand afterwards. And that's what it looks like once it's done. I keep dragging around newspaper because it's full of epoxy. Yeah, so everything looks nice. It's like 2 o'clock at morning. See you tomorrow. Good morning, it's another day and I'm going to fit in all of the remaining parts from the inside of the boat. I already put the centerboard assembly into the boat. Was kind of a mess because it didn't align as well as I thought it would, because it shall fit into these gaps that are here, and it just was a mess to get it in because there are also gaps right there and was just like scrambling it in. I think it would actually have been better to assemble the whole centerboard case inside the boat and not, as by the instructions, do it all at once before and then fit it in, because it just really doesn't look very solid and it doesn't fit very good. The alignment also inside here is not great, but I think it should be okay. I had to actually sand down the rivets that go inside of the gaps on the centerboard as well. This here is the mast caps, the mast steps, sorry. Yeah, had to sand them as well. Hopefully they fit now. So I'm gonna dry fit everything and then just fill it in with epoxy. Yeah, here you can see again, just doesn't fit in like this, because if you could put it like straight in like this, it would fit, and if you could put it straight in like this, it would fit, but because you have to like slide it in like this, it just doesn't crank in, so I have to sand it a little bit more. I also always make sure to sand places where new parts are installed if there's already epoxy or fiberglass on it, because the epoxy will not glue very well or stick very well to already cured epoxy. So just giving it a light sand with, what is it, 220 grit, so it can adhere properly to it. Yeah, longitudinal parts will go into there. See, it just doesn't fit at all. Had the same problem with all of the joints. I forgot to sand this one here. Just no way of getting it inside of there, so I have to sand them quickly. So after a little bit of sanding, almost perfectly fits. Doesn't fit this perfectly back there. There we go. Yes, this one has to slide in there. Just didn't go there because of the epoxy. How it works. So good. Looks alright. Doesn't exactly stay here like it should. Maybe I have to use some form of clamp. Don't know how to attach them, but I'll figure out. This is looking okay-ish. I lift the epoxy to fill it up spaces that doesn't fit perfectly, but that's the nice thing about stitch and glue boat building. I have to say I'm not so sold on the kit. It's like, it's okay, it's a great boat, I think. But the kit is just like, it's based on building the boat fast. The whole thing about assembling all of this at once, pre-assembling this one and just fitting it into the boat in one big chunk, it's just a matter of like, you can build this actually in like 2 or 3 weeks if you would like, maybe even less. I don't know what they say about it. But I think it would be easier to like build these step per step inside of the boat. It would be easier to assemble this not all together. It would have been easier to pre-install these parts that have been a huge pain in the backside to get in afterwards. It is like a fast method, but I don't think it's the best method for beginners. I had some trouble and I already built a boat beforehand, so I would say I have like a little bit of experience, not too much. But yeah, going to have a look at the rest, figure out where further problems could come up and hopefully avoid them. Fingers crossed. Now it doesn't line up here. There's no gap. Oops. That's how it should be. And then on this side, it already snatched out the back here, but it will be the same thing. You can see there's an angle going on, and because of this corner right there, it doesn't go in the hole down there. So that's actually not a problem. I could simply sand this away, but the problem is that this part of the hole will be like a little bit twisted, which I don't know, shouldn't be too much of a problem. I hope that the deck will fit on top of here. But it's just like another thing I would do if I would have built the boat again, just to make sure that this distance here is right, because that's just a point where the boat can do whatever it does. And this would also be bettered if you would have glued the little frame here immediately in with all of the other frames and not waited until you assemble this whole gamble here. Yeah, good. Going to try to fix this. Can't do anything about the shape of the boat now, but do something about this here. Still didn't slide in. There we go. So I managed to squeeze it in, but as you can see the angle here is still stupid. I tried to not sand it, just will not work. If you watch at it from above, you can see that it is curved like this. It should be straight like the one on the port side. So I'm now just going to measure out how much there is actually, how much space is up here, and I'm going to take this space away down there, so and make sure that this thing is sitting straight, because this looks awful. Okay, so it fits now, so I'm going to glue all of this up. I did just run out of card space, so see you next weekend. Bye bye, thank you for watching. Oh, and watch the other episodes, they are linked below. Bye!